Hello students, welcome to Learn at SAN tutorial. Now in this class, let us learn how urine is formed, mechanism of urine formation. Mechanism of urine formation. Okay. So in this class, let us learn how urine is formed. Okay. So mechanism of urine formation occurs in 4 steps. First one is glomerular filtration. First step is glomerular or ultrafiltration. Second step is tubular reabsorption. Third step is tubular secretion. And fourth step is concentration of urine. So these are the 4 steps which involve in urine formation. So let me draw the diagram to make you understand this urine formation. So this is Bowman's capsule. From Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule arises. From proximal convoluted tubule, a structure called loop of Henle. This is loop of Henle. From loop of Henle, DCT arises, that is distal convoluted tubule. From DCT, a collecting duct arises. So this is the collecting duct. So like this, many nephrons will join here in collecting duct. So this is collecting duct. So already in my previous video, I have explained the structure of nephron. If you have not seen that video, first you go through that video, then you will understand this mechanism of urine formation clearly. So this is Bowman's capsule, this is proximal convoluted tubule, this is loop of Henle, this is distal convoluted tubule, and this is collecting duct. This structure we know. Then what happens, this is the nephron which is present in kidneys. I'll draw you the structure of kidney here. So this is kidney. In this kidney, renal artery gives a branch called renal arteriole. So this renal arteriole will enter into this in the kidney. So in kidney there are 2 regions. We know that there are 2 regions. So this one is dark outer zone, cortex, and inner pale zone, medulla. So nephron is present half above the half part present in cortex region, half part is present in medulla region. This renal artery, from here arterioles arises, from arterioles many branches of capillary arises, and these capillaries are called as glomerulus. And this glomerulus, again they join together to give efferent arteriole. this efferent arteriole will give many branches. From here many branches arises, and these branches so these peritubular capillaries, they come together to give you venule. Many venules, they arise to give renal vein. So this is structure of nephron, we already know. Now let us see how urine is formed. This renal artery brings oxygenated blood fully loaded with waste materials. So renal artery brings oxygenated blood. This blood contains many blood cells, water, plasma and many nutrients, waste materials, oxygen. So this blood is oxygenated as well as it is loaded with waste materials. So this with waste material, they come to the renal artery. From renal artery it enters into arterioles. If efferent arteriole, this is efferent arteriole. From efferent arteriole it enters into the capillaries. In the previous video I have already told you blood vessels are of three types: artery, veins and capillaries. Arteries and veins are made up of three layers, whereas capillaries are made up of only one layer. That's why diffusion of materials or transport of materials or exchange of materials is very easy and common in capillary region, because it is made up of only one layer. So as this is made up of only one layer, as well as there is a pressure increased in this glomerulus, this capillary region, because here the diameter of the blood vessel becomes very narrow. So because of that, pressure creates. Due to that pressure and because of it is made up of only one layer, what happens here? Waste material from capillaries, it enters into Bowman's capsule. So from Bowman's capsule it enters into capsular space. This region is called as capsular space. So it enters into capsular space. So this is called as nephric filtrate or primary urine. What we call this as? Primary urine. We call this as primary urine, or else we can also say nephric filtrate. So this is called as nephric filtrate or primary urine. Why we will not call this as urine? Because this contains still many ions. Though it contains waste material, but it also contains glucose, amino acids. Some useful materials are also present, nutrients are also present. That's why we won't call this as a urine. Understood? Then this from capsular space, this waste material along with some nutrients, salts, ions, glucose, amino acid, this all enters into the PCT. So this place is called as PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. It enters into PCT. What happens in the PCT? The epithelial cells which are present in PCT, these cells, what they do? These cells, they absorb all the nutrients like glucose, amino acids, some ions and salts. these are observed from this place and it gives to peritubular capillaries. So these capillaries which are connected to PCT, loop of Henle and DCT, this is called as peritubular capillaries. So let me mention here, this is called as peritubular capillaries. Okay, so PCT observe all the nutrients and they give it to peritubular capillaries. So from here again waste material are entered from PCT into loop of Henle. So this place is called as loop of, this structure is called as loop of Henle. In this loop of Henle, some ions are observed as well as 10% of water is also observed. So in this place 10% of water is observed and some ions are also observed. In case of PCT, here 75% of water is observed in PCT and some useful nutrients are observed. Understood? Then from loop of Henle it enters into DCT. So this place, this region is called as DCT, distal convoluted tubule. What happens in DCT? Tubular secretions will occur. What is tubular secretions? The cells which are present in DCT, they observe ions, urea, uric acid, waste materials which are still present in the capillaries. In peritubular capillaries, still some waste materials are present. Urea, uric acid, creatinine, some salts, ions, these extra salts and ions from peritubular capillaries into the DCT. So from DCT, this enters into the structure. This structure is called as collecting duct. So this enters into the collecting duct. In collecting duct, the remaining water is observed with the help of a hormone called vasopressin. So vasopressin hormone is released. This hormone still concentrates the urine. Understood? So what is concentration of urine? Still water is observed, extra water is observed with the help of vasopressin hormone in collecting duct, and the remaining water we waste with waste material, that we call it as urine, and that enters into, from collecting duct, it enters into the pelvis region. From pelvis it enters into the ureter. Okay, from ureter it enters into urinary bladder. From urinary bladder it comes out. This glomerulus and Bowman's capsule together is called as Malpighian body. Understood? This nephron and collecting duct, this together is called as uriniferous tubules. Okay, a quick review. Urine formation occurs in 4 steps. First one is glomerular or ultrafiltration. What do you mean by this first step? These are capillaries. Understood? These are capillaries which are made up of single layer cells, epithelial cells. So from there, nephric filtrate or primary urine will enter into this Bowman's capsule. Okay, from there, this nephric filtrate will contains water, okay, and amino acids, salts, glucose. Okay, so these all from Bowman's capsule, it comes into capsular space. From there it comes to PCT. In the PCT, what happens? Tubular reabsorption occurs. So what is tubular reabsorption? In PCT, in case of PCT, tubular reabsorption in PCT takes place. So glucose, amino acids, some potassium, calcium, sodium ions, vitamins, some nutrients which are necessary, they will be observed by the epithelial cells which are present in PCT, and that release into peritubular capillaries. These capillaries, red ones, they enter into this peritubular capillaries, and again from there nephric filtrate will enter into this loop of Henle. Got it? So here in PCT, 75% of water is observed. In loop of Henle, 10% of water is observed. From there, nephric filtrate will enter into DCT. In DCT, absorption also occurs, but very less. But more tubular secretion will occur. So tubular secretion especially occurs in DCT. Okay, so in DCT, the DCT, distal convoluted tubule, this tubular structure is made up of epithelial cells. These epithelial cells will absorb all the extra ions, extra salts, okay, uric acid, urea, creatinine, potassium, hydrogen, sodium ions from peritubular capillaries, and they release into this DCT. From DCT, it enters into collecting duct. So, if you come to concentration of urine, 75% of water is observed in PCT, 10% of water is observed in loop of Henle, and the remaining water is extra water. The remaining extra water is observed in collecting duct. So here what is happening? Urine is concentrated, means extra water is observed. Understood? And the remaining what we get is urine, and that urine, it enters into pelvis region. From pelvis, it enters into ureter. From ureter, it enters into urinary bladder. From there, it comes out through urethra. Okay, so per day, 0.5 to 0.8, nearly 2 liters, from 1.5 to 2 liters urine is excreted out. Okay, so vasopressin, if vasopressin hormone is not released, what happens? Urine will be more diluted. You will get more times, number of times you will go for urination. That condition is called as diabetes insipidus. That condition is called as diabetes insipidus. So what is diabetes insipidus? Due to deficiency of vasopressin hormone, water from the urine is not observed. Thereby what happens? Urine will be more diluted. Okay, and you'll go to washroom more number of times for urination. Understood? So whenever water has to be observed from nephric filtrate, then vasopressin hormone is released. Vasopressin hormone is released to absorb water, but due to some defects, what happens? Vasopressin hormone is not released. If not released, then it leads to diabetes insipidus. Okay, where you'll go to washroom more times for urination. Understood? So a quick review. Mechanism of urine formation occurs in 4 steps. One is glomerular filtration. In glomerular filtration, due to glomerulus, that is capillaries. Okay, the blood which is coming from renal artery is filtered here, and water, some waste material and nutrients, amino acids and glucose, these are all enters into this Bowman's capsule from. So glomerular filtration occurs in Bowman's capsule. Tubular reabsorption occurs in PCT as well as DCT, but in PCT absorption is more when you compare with DCT. Then tubular secretion. Tubular secretion can occur in PCT as well as DCT, but in DCT tubular secretion is more, very high compared with PCT. Understood? Then fourth step is concentration of urine. So concentration of urine is nothing but water absorption from nephrin filtrate. Understood? So in PCT water absorption will occur, in loop of Henle it occurs, as well as in collecting duct water absorption will occur. So this is urine formation.